all local TV5, North Myrtle Beach Recreation this time around. I know a lot of you know who this guy is. Recreation director for 14 years before you retired?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
This is John Bullard, by the way. And John, he retired, but he really didn't retire. So they kind of brought you back and said, hey, we need a consultant. We need somebody to help us with all the wonderful things the city is doing with recreation. And you said, sure.
Yes, and I was very happy to come back and be a part of what's taking place in North Myrtle Beach. The mayor and city council have been so supportive of parks and recreation, quality of life issues in the city. And we had several projects that were still on the board that we had almost got started with the planning and design. They felt like it would be a good thing if I stayed around and made sure some of the projects were kept up to date and some degree of consistency with all the projects and the staffing as well. So yes, I'm happy to devote a few hours each week to helping any way I can.
Yeah, I think he does more than a few hours every week. Before we talk about pickleball, talk about how things have changed since you were recreation director, brought in here, 14, 15 years ago?
Yes, sir. One of the priorities that mayor and city council had 14 years ago was to have an impact with sports tourism. They knew if we could get sports teams to come here, spend a week here or a weekend here, they would fall in love with our city and come back. So the economic impact has been huge for North Myrtle Beach since we have opened the North Myrtle Beach Park and Sports Complex. That agency generates about $30 million in economic impact to our community every year. And we used to have to go out and recruit. We no longer have to recruit organizations to come to North Myrtle Beach. They come from all over the states and sometimes even Canada and other countries outside the United States.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what has transpired with the development of the sports park and the many tournaments that we bring in here.
Tell us about this building we're in.
This is J. Brian Floyd. It was the first phase was built I think in 1982, completed. It was in the process of being renovated when I came here in 2009. We use it, of course, for pickleball, basketball, youth basketball. We also host prep national basketball tournaments and even some national tournaments in conjunction with North Myrtle Beach and some of the surrounding recreational centers as well. So it's been a very beneficial facility for our citizens as well as the sports tourism industry.
We're going to be talking with Derry and Ken a little bit later, but you've been spending some time with these two guys here.
Yes.
As they try to raise a bunch of money.
They have been instrumental in helping guide us, the city, and our staff as to what pickleball was, what pickleball means to the community, what it means to even tourism, since we are a tourism area that depends on the tourism dollars to offset our costs. But they have spread the word about pickleball and the benefits of pickleball throughout Horry County and surrounding counties, but especially in North Myrtle Beach.
There could be no better two ambassadors for pickleball here.
That's true. Even though Ken is from Pittsburgh, Derry is a Tar Heel, as am I. So, but no, they and their committee and the pickleball population here in general have just done so many positive things for our city.
So this fundraiser that we're going to be talking about, along with the money that you guys have committed to this project, will add how many courts, or what will it all add?
Right. we're hoping for 8 to 12 courts. The city agreed if the community and the community pickleball players could raise $200,000, that they would meet that or exceed that to the tune of $400,000. So we thought we had a $600,000 facility to begin with, but we've increased that much to, the city's willing to put in a minimum of $750,000. So depending on what our final budget will be, will determine how many courts will go in. But we're looking for a minimum of 8 with a possibility of maximum of 12. And with that will help meet some of the immediate needs and the demands on our pickleball facilities, as well open the opportunity to have regional tournaments here in North Myrtle Beach. And again, we're a tourism-driven economy, and everything we can bring people here, and they'll come back. We know when they see our facilities and how special our people are here, they'll come back again in the future. So,
of course.
Yeah.
So 7 years ago, would you have ever dreamed that pickleball would have taken off like it has?
7 years ago, I probably did not even know what pickleball was. I said, now how are you going to play with a pickle and a ball? Yeah. But very quickly, Derry got involved. Several other people became involved and kind of oriented us as to what pickleball was and the potential of it. So we recognized that it had huge potential, and it's the fastest growing sport in the United States, probably the world today, with increases of 50% participation over the last 3 years. A lot of people think pickleball is just for old people like me, but the average age group now is 18 to 34. So
I saw that.
Yeah, and my grandkids came this summer, spent some time with us. They loved it. They're 5, 7, and 9. So it reaches across all generations, which I think is really nice also.
We'll end with this question. Do you play?
Yes. My wife made me start playing when I retired in January. So it is a wonderful sport. Met many people I did not know. And it gives my wife and I something to do together. So it's really a great sport for the kids, the middle-aged, and us that are a little gray in the hair.
The social aspect, I think, is 50% of it. Yeah.
Oh, it is. There's no question. I met a couple not long ago, and they had moved here a year or so ago. They said, we left all of our family, didn't know anyone here, and we started playing pickleball. And now we have an entirely new family that we feel so close to because of pickleball. Another example, 2 weeks ago there were 4 people from Iowa that were here that chose North Myrtle Beach. It was a father, 2 sons, and his son-in-law. And they were here and they played pickleball every day and even golfed when they finished playing pickleball. So the outreach is unbelievable.